On the third lunar day of waxing phase of the month of Vaishakh, we celebrate Akshaya Tritiya. Akshaya literally means that which can't be worn out or deteriorated, or that which always exists. Any austerity, any charity, any attempt to gain spiritual knowledge on this day bears a permanent effect. Revo. So, whatever. Also, they said that there are 3 days in the year as per the astrology. Which very much looks after कौन सा शुभ मुहूर्त है, ये शुभ मुहूर्त है, ये शुभ मुहूर्त नहीं है. Right? So as per the astrology, there are 3 days. I think one is Vasant Panchami, one is Akshaya Tritiya, and one is Vijay Dashmi. These are the 3 days where it is said that no muhurt, all muhurt are auspicious. Right? I don't have to consider this muhurt, that muhurt. Every muhurt is wonderful. Obviously, this muhurt is generally seen for those who very much focus on trying to achieve things in this material world. Right? But those who are interested in achieving the eternal ascent of Krishna consciousness, they don't so much focus on muhurt. But in case, whatever may be the situation, for even for the materialistic people, today is a day when all muhurts are auspicious. And hence, for a devotee, he should utilize every single muhurt, every single time. Muhurt means how much time is a muhurt? How many minutes is equal to one muhurt? Let us see. Let us see how many of you know some Vedic astrology. Yes. I think other pros have the right statement. What is it? 48 minutes. Yes. 48 minutes is equal to one muhurt. Okay, so different muhurt are special, considered. Some are very auspicious, some are inauspicious. But on Akshaya Tritiya, every muhurt, every moment is wonderful. Right? So there is no such consideration. So hence anything it is said, any austerity, any charity will give eternal effect. Anything began on this auspicious day tends to get the same nature as of the day. That means it becomes Akshaya. The fact we will know from different incidences mentioned in Purana. So what all things happen on this day, let us see. So first thing is, it is said Satya Yuga begins on this day. Okay, right. So time begins. Right. Okay. Then Mother Ganga descended on this planet on this very day. So Ganga is coming on this day. This day is also called as Parashuram Jayanti. So Lord Parashuram, who is still living, here, appeared on this day. Okay, Haribol. So this is appearance day of Parashuram. Very beautiful pastime of Parashuram is there in the scriptures. Maybe in brief, in 5 minutes I'll share. I'll focus on one pastime, more. But other things I'll just mention. So Parashuram appeared. He is an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He appeared as the son of Jamadagni, and very, very powerful sage. And Parashuram, there is a early pastime of Parashuram that how once his mother was looking in the heaven and she got to see some heavenly personality, and she got very attracted in her mind. So because she got attracted to another man in the mind, Jamadagni, who was very powerful sage, noticed it, and Jamadagni immediately told Parashuram and your mother has committed adultery in the mind. Okay. In those ages, in the mind, if you commit sin, you get the same reaction of committing sin physically. Okay, right? So that was equal. In Kaluga, that is forgiven. Very good. But that doesn't give you license to do sin in the mind. Why? Because it will manifest. Yes. If you do in the mind, after some time you will do it. So then Jamadagni immediately told Parshuram, because Jamadagni is father and spiritual master of Parshuram. So he told that you cut the head of your mother. First, obviously, he told to his other sons, and they denied. They said, "How can we, do that?" But Parshuram was the youngest, so he told to youngest son Parshuram that you cut. Immediately, Parshuram took the sword and cut the head of his mother. So Jamadagni was very happy. He said, "Very nice. You are so obedient. So ask me any benediction you want." And Parshuram said that I want benediction that may my mother become alive. So Jamadagni was very pleased and he brought the mother back to life. Very good. So obviously she got the punishment of being killed also, and she came back also, and in that way Parshuram's greatness is explained there. And then later on there is another pastime of KGP Arjuna, who was a very, very powerful king. So much powerful he was that he had made Ravana, like once he was there in one of the place, and he was enjoying, and he blocked the river, and next the further in the river Ravana was also there. So Ravana became very angry at who blocked the river. So Ravana came to KGP Arjuna, and KGP Arjuna saw the Ravana and caught him like ऐसे कोई मदारी बंदर को पकड़ता है, like that. So he caught that Ravana and played with him like a monkey, and captured him like a monkey, tied him like a monkey. So that was the power of KGP Arjuna, that Ravana जैसे व्यक्ति को ऐसे पकड़ के रखते थे. And then after that he released, after humiliating sufficiently, he released him and jump, get lost. So like that. So that was the power of KGP Arjuna. So this KGP Arjuna once came to Jamadagni's place, and he was very impressed by the anyone knows the past name? Cow? It was cow, Surabhi cow? Kamdenu cow? Yes, Kamdenu cow, yes. It was Kamdenu cow. And KGP Arjuna forcefully, I think he killed Jamadagni. What happened?
He fed all the soldiers, made houses for them. And in their home, personal dish, whatever they like, they were serving.
Yes, Jamadagni offered so much nice reception to thousands of soldiers of KGP Arjuna that KGP Arjuna was shocked that एक sage है simple सा यहाँ पर रहता है, and he is able to feed so nicely, So how is it? Then
he came to know that there is this cow.
He came to know that there is one cow, Kamdenu, who is supplying so much amount of food. Then?
So
And he wanted that cow.
It is best that king should have this valuable asset.
Yes.
So he went and
He stole the cow.
he stole the cow. Actually, before stealing, actually he asked.
I stole and the cow are like to the please save me.
You are calm, you yourself can kill everybody. So she only manifested so many soldiers, and they killed everybody, the whole soldier army, KGP Arjuna, everything, everybody was finished. And the sons of KGP Arjuna came to take revenge. Then there are many sons.
नहीं सन तो बाद में आएंगे KGP Arjuna. So anyways, what in short it is mentioned here that the sage that as the sage did not permit KGP Arjuna killed Jamadagni. That is mentioned here. So that's what actually happened. So Kartikeya, I am not able to remember the details, but somehow or other it happened that Kartikeya Arjun killed Jamadagni. You can imagine, killing a Brahmana is a very big sin. So then, at that point of time, Parashuram felt that these kings have lost their intelligence, that these Kshatriyas have become corrupted, and hence he went and he killed Kartikeya Arjuna. And then so he went, you can imagine Parashuram's power, obviously he's Supreme Lord's incarnation. So he went and he killed Kartikeya Arjuna and killed all the soldiers of Kartikeya Arjuna. And then Kartikeya Arjuna's sons came for revenge, he killed them, and then finally Parashuram took a vow. Parashuram came to the fact that he realized that autocrats were misusing their power. So he fought with Kartikeya Arjuna, killed him, he further killed the misbehaving rulers of 21 generations. Generations. So he kept killing the Kshatriyas after Kshatriyas, understanding that they all become corrupted. Parshuram engaged in 18 major battles and 3 minor ones against the Kshatriyas and eliminated them all. So in that way, there is long past name of Parshuram. He is still living, and he performed wonderful things in Kurukshetra. In case we go to Kurukshetra, there are places where he bathed in Kurukshetra and performed the atonement of killing so many Kshatriyas. But obviously, he is the Supreme Lord. So he is teaching. What is the main teaching of Parashuram? Today on his auspicious day, we can pray to him. His main teaching is that if you are following certain particular duties and ashrama, you should follow it. And you are a Kshatriya, you should become a proper Kshatriya. Don't be a hypocritical. So that is the teaching we can see, and that's why Parashuram was angry. Parashuram is not just angry unnecessary. His anger is not unnecessary anger. His anger is about the unworthy rulers. If you want to become a ruler, you should first become qualified. Then you become a ruler. So that is his point. So similarly, today also we are beginning, both whether device training or voice leadership training. In both the things, it is all about leading. So if you have to lead, you cannot lead, without having the right qualifications. Just like modern day time, there are elections happening, right? And people are elected to lead the country or lead the community and everything. But what is the qualification?
Having more money.
जिसके पास ज़्यादा influence and गुंडा है, you have more political, physical power and influence over others. And how you make influence over others? Through money. Just money. In so many rallies they do. I heard that some of the rallies, they bring people from village saying that you will get, if you come to the rally, you will get 100 rupees and non-veg, some non-veg food they will give. Non-veg food and wine. You get alcohol, intoxication, then you get meat eating and gambling. You get 100 rupees, which that money will be so bad money you can imagine. Right? And with that money they will do illicit sex. So all the pillars of sinful activities. So, and people are attracted to these things. So what kind of leaders are these? So hence we have to understand that leadership. So that's why Parashuram was angry when he sees such kind of leadership. Obviously now he is performing austerities. If he comes here, he has to kill practically everyone. So in Kali Yuga, Parashuram is not doing anything. He is just performing austerities. He knows that these fellows are not worthy to be killed also. It's like, it's like you feel angry on the ants, It's not, doesn't make sense. So Treta Yuga, kings were at least worthy to discuss about this. These Kali Yuga people are not worthy. So Parashuram is not active, as there would be no population here. It is said that Parashuram, when he would fight, he would, he will begin the fighting. He will fight with the speed of mind. Can you know what is speed of mind? He'll kill people as soon as he'll enter into the arena. There will be lakhs of soldiers, and he'll enter into the arena. Within moments, there will be river of blood. And then it is explained how the river of blood can come. Because blood तो clot हो जाता है ना, ऐसे किसी का blood आपने किसी को मारा तो blood निकलेगा, clot हो जाएगा, फिर थोड़ी ना बहता नहीं है blood river कैसे फिर बहेगा? When it's continuous. So actually that's what will happen. There will be river of blood because he will be killing with the speed of mind, and when he will get little tired, then he will be killing with the speed of wind. Here you go. This is Bhagavatam verse, what just now I spoke. so this is powerful Parashuram. So we can pray to his lotus feet on this auspicious day that we are willing to become instrument in the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You know, right? So we can pray to him that may we live by the principles which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given, and may we try to become foot soldiers in Mahaprabhu's moment, and try to assist Mahaprabhu. Reward. Right. We also want to become soldiers. Right. But if you don't become good soldiers, then Parashurama is coming. So rather than getting, because he is very merciful personality ultimately, he is Krishna only. So it's Krishna, empowered by Krishna. So we can pray to him that please give us strength that we can actually follow Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And in Kali Yuga, when you follow Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the incarnations take the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is very merciful. Just like Narasimha Dev is there in Mayapur Dham. Very good. So Mayapur Narasimha Dev is very, very merciful. As Narasimha Dev is ferocious, very angry. But there Narasimha Dev has taken the mood of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He knows that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here spreading love of God, so I should assist. So Narasimha Dev is assisting Mahaprabhu's moment by protecting the devotees. Very good. Similarly Parashuram. So let us pray to him that please help us to serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is important. Another thing is, it is said that Lord Krishna's dearmost friend Sudama came to Dwarka on this day, and he gave him Akshay opulence, not comparable even with the wealth of Indra, as a reciprocation for his handful chipped rice. Krishna took little bit chipped rice and today he gave. So this is the day Sudama met Krishna. Haribo. So you can remember Sudama. Obviously that doesn't mean that we think that if I'll give Krishna some chipped rice and I'll get a lot of opulence. That's what some people think. वो अक्षय तृतीया ऐसा देना ना, जाके कृष्ण को कुछ चिप प्राइस दिया हो and I'll get lot of happiness. No, a devotee thinks that I want to give everything to Krishna, right? And in return, what I want? More opportunity to give more to Krishna. That's all. If Krishna gives me in return something, then I would like to offer that even more. Right? So in that way, devotees just want to offer more and more to Krishna. Right? Sun God gave Akshay Patra to Pandavas that could feed unlimited number of people till the time Draupadi hasn't taken her meal. So Akshay Patra. So Akshay Patra was received on Akshay Tritiya by Sun God. You know Akshay Patra? How many of you know Akshay Patra? There is special patra given to Draupadi in the forest by Sun God, which can produce as much food as many people are needed. जितना भी आप पहले से काउंट दे दीजिए, हम बता सकते हैं किचन को कि रोज़ आज 40 डिवोटीज आर कमिंग, बस अक्षय पात्र को बोलने का आज 40 डिवोटीज का प्रसाद चाहिए, एकदम फर्स्ट क्लास फीस्ट. Till the time the kitchen in charge takes the prasadam. After that, till the time Draupadi would take prasadam, that would be the system. But then problem will happen that we will not get cooking seva, right? There would not be opportunity to cooking. So that's why we don't have Akshay Patra. Today is the day Kuvera became the treasure of heaven on this day. Every year in Jagannath Puri, Lord's chariot's making starts on Akshay Tritiya. Haribo. Here it is said in ISKCON Desiratory. Even in ISKCON Kolkata, following the same tradition, all official preparations for Rath Yatra starting from donation collection starts on Akshaya Tritiya. Hari Bol. And that is true. So today all that is began, in our ISKCON Calcutta for Rath Yatra purpose. On this day, Vyasdev started composing the greatest epic Mahabharat. Hari Bol. So he also started an auspicious work that may begin Mahabharat. You know how Mahabharat was written?
By Lord Ganesh.
Yes, so actually Vyasdev was to compile Mahabharat, but then he was thinking it is such a big literature that writing it will be so laborious. So he said that I want a scribe. I will speak. I want someone to write it. Okay. So I need someone like that. So the condition of Vyasdev was that the scribe should be the person who should continuously write, like, what is that? And what is that?
The condition for Ganesh ji was that
Ganesh ji ka special condition hai, but first his condition was that, that as Vyasdev is going to speak with very fast and he has to continuously write. So that means someone should have very high speed. Vyasdev is such a powerful person, he can. So then Ganesh ji was ready, but Ganesh ji put a condition. What is that? What is this condition?
Ganesh said, if I have to write, then somebody has to speak continuously.
So first was this, then after that Ganesh ji put the condition. Ganesh ji put the condition that
Vyasdev put the
chalega. Ganesh ji put the condition.
I should have continued.
Then no one.
Said, okay, I will speak continuously. And Vyasdev in between.
वही बता रहा हूँ मैं. So that is the third part. Then after that Ganesh ji said, okay, I can write continuously, but there should not be any break. आपको break नहीं होना चाहिए. So then Vyasdev understood. He is a very powerful scribe. He is going to write very powerfully. So now, but I may need little break. ऐसा नहीं है break नहीं लेना है. Little break I need to think about the next some few thousand verses. 1 lakh verses हैं तो कुछ तो मेरे को break चाहिए. So then. But Ganesh ji said, अगर थोड़ा भी break हुआ, 1 moment का break हुआ, he will stop writing. So then Vyasdev decided. So that's why what Vyasdev did, he would compose. So powerful these people are. He will compose, and while composing, when he knew that he has to now, think little bit. For 1-2 moments, he need to think about next few hundred of shlokas. So in between, he had put a very mysterious shloka. Right? A shloka, and Vyasdev put a condition that the scribe should write everything with understanding. So Vyasdev written back another condition. जो भी आप लिख रहे हैं समझ के लिख रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं है कि बस टाइप किए जा रहे हैं. ठीक है. So you should understand the verse and then you should write. So that's why Vyasdev in between would put a very complicated shloka, which has very indirect meaning. So to write that shloka, Ganesh ji will take little time. Right, because he has to first understand, and then it's like a riddle type of shlokas, and then so that time Vyasdev would get to think for the next few shlokas, and then he will continue speaking, and in that way the powerful writing was going out of Mahabharata. So they started on Akshaya Tritiya. Hari Bol. The coastal region of Konkan region from Goa to Kerala, which is also called Parshuram Kshetra, appeared on this day. Parshuram was given this land. There was a whole pastime of that. I'm not going into that. Vijay Vigrahas at Sri Jagannath Puri temple. This is very important. Please hear. Jagannath ji has a Utsav Vigraha, or called as Vijay Vigraha. Their name is Shri Radha Madan Mohan. Along with Bhudevi and Shri Devi. Shri Ram Govind, that is Balram and Krishna, along with 5 Shivlingas, Jameshwar, Kapal Mochan, Loknath, Markandeshwar, Nilkant and Mahadev, are taken on 2 boats on Narendra Sarovar to have cool, refreshing boat ride in the evening after the end of hot days for 21 continuous days. Okay, so from today in Jagannath Puri also, a special event happens in Narendra Sarovar. The Madan Mohan, which is Jagannath's expansion, Jagannath's Savigra, That means Jagannath himself is going for a boat ride every day evening. It's nice on Palaki. They sit. They made the Madan Mohan take very beautiful procession every day. Goes to Naren Sarovar. How many of you gone to Naren Sarovar? Oh, Naren Sarovar. हम लोग पूरी यात्रा में नहीं गए थे. पूरी यात्रा में नरेंद्र सरोवर नहीं गए थे. नहीं, वो तो इंद्रदम सरोवर है. इंद्रदम सरोवर we went. How many of you remember इंद्रदम सरोवर? Naren Sarovar we didn't went, because time was not there. So we'll go sometime. We have not covered the places near Jagannath temple, so that we'll cover. So this festival is very special because even Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, during this festival, when Mahaprabhu was in Puri, during this festival, Mahaprabhu will be, when on boat, Madan Mohan will be doing boat ride, Mahaprabhu and all the devotees will be swimming in Naren Sarovar. You have seen this photo of Mahaprabhu? There's a boat going on and Mahaprabhu is in the water and swimming with the boat. There's photo like that. Maybe you can send it. So this also starts today. So this day is very nice opportunity for devotees, as even whatever little devotional service done will be a permanent fruit. We strive to chant more rounds, hear more Krishna Katha and absorb more in reading scriptures and worshipping the Lord with devotion. From this day starts 21 day long Chandan Yatra festival. Haribo! When Lord will be applied sandalwood pulp on his body as a cooling effect to get relief from the scorching summer season. Almost all ISKCON temples worldwide celebrate this festival with great enthusiasm. Haribo! So we have completed the introduction to the class. So this was and there are so many wonderful things which happens on our share. So yeah. We will focus on one very important aspect. What is that? What is that? Chandan Yatra. Haribo. So all of us, how many of you have visited Remuna Dham? How many of you have not yet visited Remuna Dham? Remuna Dham, किसने नहीं देखा? Second year and first year devotees. Okay. So I am thinking in that case क्या करते हैं? Because today this festival of Chandan Yatra is beginning in Ramanada. Haribo! So Kirchor Gopinath and Madan Mohan and Govind, everyone is fully from head to toe, fully in Chandan. Haribo! So maybe we can plan out. At least one day we can just go and come back to Ramanada. So let us think about it. We'll not announce anything without thinking, discussing and planning. I don't know. हाँ? क्या? Vote तो ठीक है. But I'm saying there are other things also lined up, so we have to see how we'll do. And also we may have to maybe search for a sponsorship already. Mayapur Yatra and everything is there. So we have to consider many constraints, but let us see. We can go for sure. It is surely possible. If there are devotees who have not gone, and I am also thinking it is such an auspicious occasion which is going on right now. That is Chandan Yatra. Haribo. And before I thought, in the beginning I planned that on 30 today, because exams will be over, so today early morning we'll leave for Ramana and we'll have Akshaya Tritiya in Ramana. But then I remembered that wait, many devotees have project submission and then till 5th. So that's why I dropped that plan. But now I am coming to see that how many of your project submission 4th is? आप लोग का प्रोजेक्ट खत्म हो गया? आपका बस है? हमारा सुभाषेश को का बचा है, आदित्य को भी बचा है. कब है? सेकंड. आपका भी सेकंड को है. आपका? सेकंड तक सब खत्म हो जाएगा ना? और रोहित को का? ओके. सो दैट मीन्स सेकंड तक सब खत्म ना? राइट? सो दैट मीन्स थर्ड को हम लोग जा सकते हैं. राइट? Okay. So that's the reason I didn't went, because I don't want that some devotees say, Prabhu ji क्या हमको छोड़ के चले गए. So that's why we planned that we will do it. We'll do it. We'll discuss, think about it. Maybe third या fourth को planning कर सकते हैं कुछ. Excellent. Okay. So we'll now read for next 25 minutes from Chaitanya Charitamrita and try to understand and discuss, remember and pray to Sripad Madhavendra Puri, hearing directly from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. First we'll begin with offering our obeisances to Sripad Madhavendra Puri, and also in this one verse all the pastimes of Madhavendra Puri are embedded inside. Yasmai datum chorayan shira bhandam Gopinatha shira chora bhido abhut Shri Gopala pradurasid vashamsan I should tell.
नहीं मिला
Huh?
मतलब वीडिंग के गैप था वो रिटर्न
ठीक है, दिखाई दे रहा है? हल्का सा धुंधला है ना? देखो शार्प. No one knows how to do it. यस्मै दातुं चोरयन् क्षीरभाण्डम् गोपीनाथ क्षीरचोराभिदोऽभूत् श्रीगोपाल प्रादुरासीद्वशंसन् यत्प्रेम्णा तं माधवेन्द्रं नतोऽस्मि I offer my respectful obeisances unto Madhavendra Puri, who was given a pot of sweet rice stolen by Sri Gopinath, celebrated thereafter as Kheer Chor. Haribo. Kheer Chora. Kheer Chora is written there. Kheer Chora. Being pleased by Madhavendra Puri's love, Sri Gopal, the deity at Govardhan, appeared to the public vision. जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after describing the elaborate pastime, he went into a deep ecstasy. It is said like this. Thus Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally praised the nectarian characteristics of Madhavendra Puri, and when he related all this to the devotees, he personally relished it. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was describing wonderful pastime. All of you know the beautiful pastime of Sripad Madhavendra Puri. How many of you know the pastime? Madhavendra Puri's full pastime from Vrindavan, how he got Gopalji in Vrindavan, and how he was sent to Jagannath Puri for getting Chandan. कितने लोगों को पास है? कौन तो हाथ नहीं उठा रहा है? शिवम तो हाथ नहीं उठा रहा है? पास है नहीं बता? Okay, so after narrating the pastime, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started to speak the glories of Madhavendra Puri. So I'll read from here, and while reading this, I will narrate the pastime briefly. Okay, because we have short time, and but these verses from here, after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu completed the whole narration of detailed pastime, next few verses, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started to speak to Nityananda Prabhu and help us understand the glories of Madhavan Puri. So we'll recite these few verses. प्रभु कहे नित्यानंद करह विचार, पुरी सम भाग्यवान जगत नाहिया. So Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said to Nityananda Prabhu, to judge, he said, Nityananda Prabhu, karo vichar, please just consider, puri sama bhagyavan jagate nahi yaar. That there is no one who is more fortunate, as fortunate personality as Madhavan Puri. What a great personality. Who is Madhavan Puri? He is a Kalpa Vriksha in the spiritual world, in Madhurya Ras, under whom, under that Kalpa Vriksha, there are many beautiful pastimes, but that Kalpa Vriksha knows the very heart of Srimati Radharani. It is explained that when Krishna left Vrindavan, and Srimati Radharani was catching that Kalpa Vriksha and was crying in separation from Shri Krishna. And that's why the feelings of separation of Srimati Radharani's heart is understood by that Kalpa Vriksha. And that Kalpa Vriksha, who is in such similar ecstatic feelings, descended in this world as Shri Madhavan Puri to help establish the highest perfection of life, of a human form of life in this world. So he is the very root of the whole mission for which Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. So he is the great grand spiritual master of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. So now from here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is summarizing the pastimes in few verses. So through this summary we will discuss little. दुग्धदान चले कृष्ण जारे देखा दिला, तीन बारे स्वप्न आसी जारे आज्ञा कोइला. Mahaprabhu is telling, just see the great fortune, that she, Madhavan Puri, he went to Vrindavan Dham and he was doing Govardhan Parikrama with a clear vow that he will not eat anything. He will not eat anything. Okay. He was not going to eat anything. And only thing he will accept is milk. Right? Only thing he will accept is milk. And that also he will not ask anyone. Only if someone gave him, he will accept the milk. Right? If anything else someone gave him, he will just distribute it. So that was his internal vow. That he will take only milk and he will take only if it is given. He will not ask. So for 3 days went by, Madhavan Puri did daily Govardhan Parikrama, and he would come at Govardhan Kund and chant Hare Krishna. And 3 days went by and he didn't eat anything because no one offered him. Or no one offered him milk probably. Maybe they offered him other things, but no one gave him the milk. So he distributed whatever he received. So 3 days he was fasting full day. So at that point of time, Krishna, who is eternally existent in Vrindavan, obviously was existent everywhere, but especially in Vrindavan. So in a form of a cowherd boy, he personally came to Madhavan Puri and gave him a pot of kheer, of milk, pot of milk. Sheer means milk. He gave him a pot of milk, and Madhavan Puri, accepted it. He was not understanding who is this boy, And this boy told that I came to know that you have not eaten and you have come to my village. You should take. So in that way, Dutta Dan Chale Krishna Jare Dekha Dila. So Krishna personally come and showed himself personally, his original Shyam Sundar form of Golok Vrindavan. Krishna came in that cowherd form. But when Krishna comes like this many times to the devotees, Krishna also covers them that the devotees feel greatly attracted, but they cannot understand, because ultimately devotees' mind is also under Krishna's control. So Krishna just doesn't let them think that he is Krishna. Only when that Krishna leaves, then they understand, hey, Krishna came. So like that. So this happens to many devotees. Madhavan Puri, later Sanatana Goswami's pastime is there. Narottam Das Thakur's pastime is there. Srinivas Acharya's pastime is there, and Vrindavan only. All these pastimes are right at Govardhan, where Krishna showed them, and they didn't came to know And after Krishna left, then they realized suddenly. So that way Krishna came and he took the milk, and then Krishna came. Then 3 बार स्वप्ने आसी जारे आज्ञा कोइला. Then immediately on that very night, Krishna came in the dream and gave the first agya. Three times. What is the first agya he gave? What?
I am staying
Established.
Establish me. I'm hiding here. My pujari put me there in the behind the bushes, and I'm feeling so hot and so much hungry. And I am hungry for your love. I was waiting for you, Madhavan. Please come and take me out from here and establish me. And do Abhishekam and feed me nicely. So in that way, Madhavan established, he morning as soon as he came out of that vision, immediately he called all the villagers and they went to that very place and they removed the bushes and everything and they found a beautiful form of Shri Gopal. Devo! And then Madhavan established the Shri Gopal on the top of Govardhan, and there's beautiful Abhishekam done and a grand festival of Annakut ceremony was performed. Devo! And then for 2 years this festival went on. Every day so many devotees, villagers sponsoring for the grand festival. And after 2 years, then again second time, 3 बार, right? So second time Gopal came in the dream again, and he said that, okay, very nice that my hunger is satisfied, you are feeding nicely, but as far as heat is concerned, still it's so hot. So that's why I order you that you go to Jagannath Puri and bring Chandan from Puri. Very clear instruction. ऐसा भी नहीं बोला कि आसपास में किसी राजा से जाके चंदन मांग लेने का, थोड़ा चंदन लगाने का, नहीं, आपको पुरी जाने का, पुरी से लगाने का. So Madanpuri also didn't have an argument. अरे ठीक है, इतना दूर क्यों जाने का, कहीं इधर उधर से देख लेता हूँ मैं. No, but Madanpuri just felt that this is Lord's instruction, I should just follow. So we should, when the instruction is given, we sincerely commit to follow instead of arguing and debating. Then we can see that life becomes glorious. Madanpuri, just imagine, Madanpuri would thought, ठीक है, उनको ultimately चाहिए चंदन ही चाहिए ना. What is practical? चंदन चाहिए ना, ठीक है, मैं थोड़ा इधर सोर्स लगाता हूँ आसपास में, वृंदावन में, दिल्ली में अगर कुछ सोर्स लग गया उधर से, उन लोगों के पास तो चंदन रहेगा ही ना. समय तो मुगल रूल कर रहे थे, कुछ इधर उधर से अरेंजमेंट हो गया, इधर से अरेंजमेंट करा के दे देते हैं. चंदन ही तो चाहिए ना. भी प्रैक्टिकल इतना दूर पूरी तक कौन जाएगा ना. और वो भी it's not a one country. India was not a one country that time. There are many countries. You have to cross different countries, borders, and there will be so many troubles, and Mughals are there, and so much difficulty was there. It was not an easy time. Right? So कौन इतना मेहनत करे ना.
क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते थे.
क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं. So that's why, because we are not at that level of Madhavanpuri, we don't understand that our goal of life is not to do something practical. Goal of life is to please Krishna. Okay. So when you understand that I need to please Krishna, devotee is ready to do anything to please Krishna, and that is the real happiness. Happiness is not to finish off the task, because after that I can relax. कौन इतना मेहनत करेगा? What is the consciousness? You see, पूछने का consciousness क्या है? अरे इतना मेहनत कौन करेगा? Right? That is our problem. Our issue is that we want to ask questions not because we want to serve. We want to ask questions because we want to enjoy. मेरे को इतना टाइम नहीं है, मेरे को पीस मानने का थोड़ा. So the whole goal and purpose is to peace. And not to serve. And that's why this asking questions mood is not appropriate, and that's why we don't get direct instructions from Krishna. Krishna knows that we want all this type of things, and that's why we should not even directly take instruction from the spiritual master, because actually spiritual master's order should be just executed. But you can't serve under spiritual master if you have all these things. नहीं पहले ये वो कैसे होगा, ये होगा वो होगा. One should just execute, and if he executes, he will see all results happening. Why? Because it is a different dynamics. Okay. Okay, it is not a dynamics of your own mind and intelligence of material world. It's a dynamics of the spiritual world, right? Because Krishna is the supreme controller. If you just follow, the main thing Krishna wants to see how much you want to align. So question is that should we ask question and clarify or not? The answer is with the right attitude. Okay, right? Yes, we can clarify. Clarifying is not wrong. If our only reason of clarifying is how can I serve? The only question should be how can I serve better? That means suppose if I have not understood the service well, then it's important that you clarify so that you can serve properly. But if you are clear, ये करना है, not to try to escape, you are asking question, प्रभु वो devotee कर लेगा ना, आप मुझे ही क्यों बार बार पकड़ लेते हैं ना सेवा के लिए ना?
ऐसे ही क्यों करना है?
ऐसे ही क्यों करना है? मैं थोड़ा ऐसे कर लेता हूँ. Right. Obviously, this question also can be asked, provided we want to understand why to do like this and how this way the service will be more effective. If you want to understand, then it's okay. It's not to debate, argue, but to understand. Just like Arjuna asked the question that, how am I to understand? I think what Prabhu you are saying is right, but how can I understand that this should be done like this and by doing like that, it may not be a proper, So like that we can ask, not a problem to inquire. But the point is that
Right attitude.
the attitude should be only that I want to serve, not that my main question is that in this, if I do like this, then I will not get sufficient sense gratification. If I do like that, then I can get more sense gratification. So how can I maximize my sense gratification? Our equations are focused on that point, Right? How can I optimize everything in such a way that the sense gratification is maximized, And whereas the devotee's thing is that how can I manage everything else so that Krishna's pleasure is maximized? He only sees that. In that maximizing Krishna's pleasure, if my sense gratification has become zero, no problem. If I have to work more hard, no problem. Krishna's should be happy.
But Prabhu, in this case, Prabhu, why Lord want to send him so far if the Chandana is...
The answer is clear, no?
Chandana.
If you know the pastime, you know what Lord wants. Lord wants to create glories. Lord wants Madanpuri's glories to be spread far and wide. Madanpuri was not so much known. He is a pure devotee of Lord. Lord wants that if he goes to Puri, Puri में उनका ख्याति फैलेगा. Comes to Remuna में उनका ख्याति फैलेगा. फिर Lord उनसे खीर, तो पूरा उनका glories फैलेगा, no? So Lord has His plan. So you don't follow that plan, then you miss out what Lord wants you to do through you. Okay, right? You say, नहीं, ऐसे प्रभुपाद को भजन होगा. You go to America. Prabhupada would have said, oh, why I should go to America? No? Someone can go. इतना old age में कोई अमेरिका जाता है, no? I am so old and America is so cold. I don't know. I will die only. Better I live, in India and send some young people, right? जो थोड़ा प्रचार कर पाएंगे, हम क्या कर पाएंगे? ऐसा प्रभुपाद ने प्रैक्टिकल नहीं सोचा. प्रभुपाद ने क्या सोचा? I have to follow the instructions of my spiritual master, right? And if I do that, whether I die or live, at least I will die following the instruction of my spiritual master. I'm not going to be. Obviously, that doesn't mean Prabhupada wanted to go alone. Prabhupada tried his best. He wanted to create a whole mission in India and take many devotees. He did many things to make that happen, but nothing worked out. And Prabhupada said, "ठीक है, I have to go." Anyways, I should do my part, Right? And Prabhupada went, and and Krishna had his plan. Krishna wanted something wonderful to happen. And if that wouldn't have happened, I don't think if Prabhupada wouldn't have gone to West and somehow the Western teaching would have happened without Prabhupada doing all the sacrifice, I don't think that we would have got so much inspired. Right? So Krishna had his plan to make his pure devotee do some special sacrifices so that people coming next line generation, they should see that. Okay. So hence we should understand if some difficult service is given, we should not try to escape. हमको बोला गया कि पूजी यहाँ पर जाकर नया सेंटर खोलने का, नया प्रचार करना। पूजी मैं क्यों जाऊँगा, मैं इधर अच्छा सेंसिटाइजेशन कर रहा हूँ, मेरा सेंसिटाइजेशन क्यों आप हैम्पर कर रहे हो? Better someone else can do it. Then yes, someone else will get the credit. And that's what Krishna told to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. That see, I will do everything, but you become my nimitta. Are you ready or not? If you're not ready to become my nimitta, then you get out. I'll make Bhima my nimitta and I'll finish. I'm going to finish. मेरा जॉब तो यही है ना, मैं भीम के थ्रू फिनिश करूँगा, आप नहीं रहोगे तो आप भीम को हीरो बनाऊंगा। और मैं अपना हीरो नहीं बनता हूँ, मैं भक्त को हीरो बनाता हूँ। तुम भक्त नहीं बनोगे तो मैं दूसरे भक्त को हीरो बनाऊंगा। I want Krishna's whole mission was to make devotees glorify and devotional service glorify, so that the whole world knows what is the glory of a devotee. This is Krishna's mission. Krishna wants to glorify devotees, and by Krishna's inconceivable fortune, we have received that mission in Calcutta. Reboard. In Calcutta, Krishna's mission. See, all over the world there is a mission of Srila Prabhupada, that is to glorify Krishna. But in Calcutta, it is Krishna's mission. What is that? To glorify Srila Prabhupada. Haribol. So Krishna's mission is to glorify his pure devotees. So we are, by the grace of Prabhupada only. It's not that we are directly going to Krishna, but Prabhupada has told that we shall build a gorgeous branch in Calcutta. Calcutta is my birthplace. You should do something unique. Since Prabhupada's instruction, we are participating in Krishna's mission. So there is Tattva and there is Leela. From Tattva perspective, in Calcutta we are following Srila Prabhupada's instruction. From Leela perspective, we are in Krishna's Leela. In Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. Because what is happening is that Prabhupada glorified Srila Mayapur, and in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace, Srila Prabhupada establishing a grand temple. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to Newtown, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants that in Prabhupada's birthplace I will establish a grand temple. Haribol. And by inconceivable mercy of Nitai Gauranga, we have been given that opportunity to assist. Okay? So if you do that, what will happen? Our life will become glorious and successful. If you do sense gratification, then anyways the whole world is doing it. What's so glorious about it? No one is going to be impressed by that. So, His Grace Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu Ki Jai. So we have very special devotee with us here. His Grace Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu. Haribo! So let us welcome Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu to our Krishna Gati Pur voice by 3 times loudly chanting Haribo! 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 Chaitanya Prabhu, you can come forward. You have PPT? So in that way, and third time it says that 3 बार स्वप्न ऐसी. What is the third time dream? What is third time?
You can fly Chanda to
Yes, third time is after Madhanpuri went to Puri, and then from in between Remuna that Kirshwar pastime happens, and after that Madhanpuri immediately started running. Hey, I'll become famous here if I stay here for a little bit more also. So immediately in the night only, the early morning, almost like late night or early morning almost, that kheer came to Madhanpuri. So Madhanpuri took that kheer and immediately he left. Before the morning came, he left because he knew that now Pujari will tell everyone that the Lord stole the kheer, So that day his name became Kheer Chor. Lord's name became Kheer Chor Gopinath, but it became like that now if you go there you will find people don't say even Gopinath, they say only Kheer Chor. And Kheer Chor kidhar hai? Just see the Lord, Lord loves to be called like this, Kheer Chor, Ran Chor, Makhan Chor. Because all these pastimes glorifies devotees. So Lord's whole purpose is to somehow the other glorify devotees and devotional service. So and then after that Madhanpuri went to Jagannath Puri, and he got huge quantity of chandan and karpur and he was carrying that whole, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu further says, carrying that whole, and then third time, in Remuna, again Shri Gopal gave the dream. So that is further Chaitanya Mahaprabhu speaks. यार प्रेमे वश हैया प्रकट हैला सेवा अंगीकार करी जगत तारिला. Being obliged because of loving affairs of Madhavan, Lord Krishna himself appeared as Gopal deity, and accepting his service, he liberated the whole world. यार लागी गोपीनाथ क्षीर कैला चोरी अतएव नाम हैला क्षीर चोर हरि. On account of Madhavan, Lord Gopinath stole the pot of sweet rice. Thus he became known as Kheer Chor, the thief who stole the sweet rice. कर्पूर चंदन जारे अंगे चढ़ाइला आनंदे पुरी गोसाईरा प्रेम उठलिला. This is very interesting, So it is said Madhavan smeared the sandalwood pulp over the body of Gopinath. In this way he was overpowered with love of Godhead. So when a devotee renders service to Krishna and takes some pain in trying to give pleasure to Krishna, right? That effort to please Krishna gives the real ecstasy, right? So happiness is a product of service, right? Sense gratification leads to only misery, no happiness. People have this wrong equation, right? Maybe our scientists, Chetan Chandra Prabhu and other scientists will research and publish a paper in future that to explain in the people that how the sense gratification leads to. It's very logically observable, but still people may have their own ideas. Then scientifically also these things can be proved. In future our researchers are doing that work. I don't know. So yes, so Madhavan is made sandalwood pulp in that way, so you can experience this, right? By doing this, that when you serve, when you sacrifice for Krishna's service, then you feel happy. And when you don't sacrifice, you skip, cut from the service. Services are given to you, and say, "अरे कौन करेगा? इतना hot summer है प्रोजी और आप बोल रहे हैं आज कुकिंग करना है, वो भी लंच कुकिंग, थोड़ा डिनर कुकिंग कर लेता हूँ लंच कुकिंग में इतना हीट में, और वो भी ऊपर टीन का शेड है और नीचे इधर भी गैस, इधर से वो चल रहा है, क्या कहते हैं, गैस है, उसका हीट, फिर ऊपर से हीट, और फिर अंदर में भी हीट है संसार दावा चल रहा है अंदर में सब ऐसे में कैसे कुकिंग होगा? होगा नहीं मेरे से. No, when we do that sacrifice, then our Jyotir Mahaprabhu was sharing that during exam time he did chapati making. All devotees already doing, but the day he did chapati making and completely, from top to down, fully in sweat, bathing in sweat. So that day he was feeling in his heart, that how much devotees, all the devotees who are doing chapati making are sacrificing, working hard so that others may receive the chapati. But this sacrifice gives the real happiness, isn't it? You can't feel happy. You'll feel happy drowning in the sweat, and even remembering that, how I was drowning in the sweat. Jyotir Mahaprabhu was telling me with such happiness, Prabhu, I was like working so hard. So you feel really happy when you sacrifice for others' pleasure. That gives the real, because happiness is there in relationship. When you serve others, develop, and you sacrifice for others, and others feel that, and they feel happy. Oh, very nice. Today chapatis are so tasty. Then immediately, that gives you happiness. Yes, my life is successful. But if you do sense gratification, you just enjoy. That doesn't give so much happiness, and ultimately that gives no happiness. Okay. मलेच्छा देशे कर्पूर चंदनानि ते जंजाला Puri dukha pabe iha janiya gopala. So very clearly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned this point. In the province of India governed by Muslims, there was much inconvenience in travelling with sandalwood and camphor. See, जाने में तो माधवन के पास कुछ था नहीं, तो if the thieves will, try to torture him, कुछ मिलना नहीं वाला है. So probably it was easier, So Lord didn't did anything. But while returning, that Gopal himself started thinking that there will be so much trouble with sandalwood. You are traveling, and बीच में लोग आकर कुछ कर सकता है. Because of this, Madanpur might have gotten into trouble. This became to known to Gopal Dede. Gopal Dede started thinking. See, till Ramuna is this Utkal during that time. It was like Utkal, they say. Utkal, I think Utkal or Kalinga kingdom. So that was ruled by Hindu king. But after that comes the border, and then comes the Muslim ruler. So then there will be a lot of issues. So that knowing this, Gopal, what he did? Mahadaya Maya Prabhu Bhakta Vatsala Chandana Puri Bhakta Shrama Korila Safala. The Lord is very merciful and attached to his devotees. So when Gopinath was covered with sandalwood pulp, Madanpuri's labor became successful. So that's why, because the Lord said that you better apply the chandan to the Gopinath only. So that's why he did it. Purira preme prakashtha karaha vichar. Alokika prema chitte lage chamatkar. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling us that on this auspicious day of Akshaya Tritiya, let us focus on this. What? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu placed the standard of Madanpuri's intense love before Nityananda for judgment, and he said, all his loving activities are uncommon. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, indeed one is struck with wonder to hear of his activities. So we should consider, in Prabhupada's purport, small purport. When the living entity feels a spiritual separation from Krishna Viraha, he has achieved the prime success of life. When one becomes disinterested in material things, he is simply experiencing the other side of attraction for material things. However, feeling separation from Krishna and engaging in service of the Lord to fulfill his mission constitute the best example of love of Krishna. Okay, so this is a very important statement for us to carry on today's day. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to point out this intense love of Krishna exhibited by Madanpuri. All Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees later followed in the footsteps of Madanpuri, serving the Lord without personal consideration. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, this is prime teaching, and that's why he is feeling so ecstatic, explaining Madanpuri that how Madanpuri worked hard engaging in the loving service of Krishna. Okay, Krishna consciousness is not some sentimental, stuff. It is something which one should practically perform and show by his own body, mind and words, that how I can serve Krishna. I can work hard for Krishna, for the mission of the Lord, to fulfill the mission. So Madanpuri was given the mission, you go to Puri. And Prabhupada was given the mission, you go to the West and preach Krishna consciousness. And we also have a mission. At least we don't have to go to Puri or West. We have to just go to hostels, I don't know, and help spread Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. Haribo. Parama Virakta Mauni Sarvatra Udasina Grame Varta Bhaya Dutiya Sanghina. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued. Sri Madanpuri used to remain alone. He was completely renounced and always very silent. He was uninterested in everything material. And for fear of talking about mundane things, he always lived without a companion. You know that कुछ उस समय devotees थे नहीं, इसलिए वो अकेले रहे. So अगर आप, that means we can learn from Madanpuri. In case you don't have devotee association, then better to take association devotees on phone calls, but don't associate with them. But best is not to go to such a place. Always take association of devotees and stay away from non-devotees. He na jana gopalera agyamrita paya. सहस्र कोश आसी बोले चंदन मागिया. After receiving the transcendental orders of Gopal, this great personality traveled thousands of miles just to collect sandalwood by begging. So walking. So it says that Agya Mitra, Agya Amrit. So this is very important. I think I have discussed in the past on Agya Amrit. Yes, how many of you remember discussion on this term, Agya Amrit? Forget. I think you see that's why we should keep giving class. By giving class, you remember only. Everyone else forget. Agya Amrit means, what is Agya Amrit means? So we should, so this is something which is the real nectar in our life. The real nectar we should aspire for is, what is that nectar? Agya Amrit. That is the nectar of the instructions of the spiritual master. If we have received the instruction of spiritual master, that this is what we need to do, that is the nectar. That is how we can, because what is nectar? Nectar is what gives you life. You drink nectar, you get life. Especially if you don't have a mission in your life, right? You don't have something to live for, or it is said rather, if you don't have something in your life for which you can die for, you have nothing in your life you can live for, right? So Agyamrit is something which gives you life. Else you have no meaning. Why you are living? You are like a dead body roaming. If you have no purpose, kahe ko ji raha hai? So Agyamrit, that's why it is called Agya Amrit. It is Amrit which gives you life. Okay, now I have a purpose. Now I have a mission to fulfill. Till my last breath, I can do this and work on this project. And then then wherever Krishna wants me to take. So like that. So he received that Agya Amrit. And that's why a devotee, as soon as he receives instruction that this is your seva, that's it. Full energy now. Abhi clear hai, mera kya karna hai. Now I am going to do something wonderful. Although Madhavpuri was hungry, he would not beg food to eat. This renounced person carried a load of sandalwood for the sake of Sri Gopal. Chaitanya was just an ecstasy speaking all these verses. There's no sequence. Just an ecstasy is glorifying. And he's saying that without considering his personal comfort, Madhavpuri carried one mount, about 82 pounds of sandalwood and 20 tolas, about 8 ounces of camphor to smear over the body of Gopal. This transcendental pleasure was sufficient for him. What is transcendental pleasure? Gopal ko chandan milega. Uske liye jo mehnat karna hai sab chalega. That was his mood. Since there were restrictions against taking the sandalwood out of Orissa province, the toll official confiscated the stock, but Madhavpuri showed him the release papers given by government and consequently escaped difficulties. Madhavpuri was not at all anxious during the long journey to Vrindavan through the provinces governed by Muslims, filled with unlimited numbers of watchmen. Although Madhavpuri did not have a farthing with him, he was not afraid to pass by toll officers. His only enjoyment was in carrying the load of sandalwood to Vrindavan for Gopal. So devotee is just happy that Krishna will be so happy now. Right? This is natural result of intense love of Godhead. The devotee does not consider personal inconveniences or impediments in all circumstances. He wants to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. So this is the it says Praghada Premirai Swabhava Achar Nij Dukh Vignadira Na Kare Vichar. So this is meaning of love. Love means one does not focus on how much I am troubled, but what will give pleasure to Krishna. Sri Gopal wanted to show how intensely Madhavpuri loved Krishna. Therefore, see your question. You asked the question, why you asked him to go to Nilachal? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will answer. Sri Gopal wanted to show how intensely Madhavpuri loved Krishna. Therefore, he asked him to go to Nilachal to fetch sandalwood and camphor. Okay, that's the answer. Okay. So Lord wants to glorify devotees. And And this is the famous verse. Bahu parishrame chandana remuna nila. Ananda badila mone dukhna gadila. So this is a devotee's love for Krishna. That with great hard work, he brought this chandan from Remuna. And while doing this hard work, he was not counting. What is it says? Dukha na gadila. He was not telling, देखो मैंने इतना कष्ट किया, मैंने ये problem से go through किया, ये किया, वो किया. He was not counting that. He was rather Anand badila mane. In his mind, he was simply feeling what? Krishna will be so happy. My special master will be so happy. We can see that the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, how they served Prabhupada in a similar mode. As you know, that Tamal Krishna Maharaj, for example, went for the getting Mayapur land. It was such a tough task to carry huge quantity of rupees inside the belt, and using the coupon, how he tied the money. It was like because you have to go in a local train. You go in a local train and you come back in a local train with the paper, and you have to give the cash. You have to do a dealing with the people, and you are going alone. कुछ भी हो सकता है, कोई भी आपको मर्डर करके पैसे छीन सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. It was a very, very tough thing, but he did it. He got the papers done, and his only thought was that how Prabhupada will be pleased. Right? So in that way we can today pray at the lotus feet of Madhavan Puri on this auspicious day of Akshaya Tritiya, and try to commit that how we can give our life for the mission of the Lord. Sripad Madhavan Puri ki Jai, Chandan Yatra Mahamahotsav ki Jai. So we are talking of Chandan Yatra, and we have here Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu. Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu's previous name was also Chandan. So Chandan. So Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu is a very wonderful devotee. I'd like to, you can put your PPT. He will give you a small PPT. How much time?
10
minutes. Sorry, I'm extending a little bit more austerity for 10 minutes. But it will be a wonderful service for all of you. So Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu is a very wonderful devotee, pass out. He took admission in NIT Jamshedpur in 2009. Right? So that means he is 3 years senior to Chaitanya Prabhu. Haribo. Okay. Right. So I remember I was going to Jamshedpur, NIT Jamshedpur, preaching in 2010. That time Chandan Prabhu was in second year. Very, very sincere devotee, very enthusiastic. In the Mangal Aarti, he would be jumping high in the sky. ऐसा लगता था कि उड़ जाएंगे हवा में. Very, very enthusiastic devotee. And after completing his graduation from NIT Jamshedpur, then he went to Prayagraj, right? NIT. In NIT Allahabad, Prabhu did his masters. Center for Brain Research. Okay. It is his masters. So he was in Prayagraj for some time. So he did a lot of studies on behavior and everything. So the whole purpose is that to help. So there is a certain research Prabhu is doing. Currently Prabhu is in IIT Bombay. He is completing his PhD, just about to complete his PhD. This is the final work for his research paper. He is doing a research. But wonderful thing about devotees is that whatever devotees will do in their lives, they will do in such a way that it helps propagate Krishna consciousness. Haribo. So that's the whole goal. So that means in case any one of you interested in research or paper publishing and all these things, we should make sure that we publish paper in a way that it helps people receive Krishna consciousness. Then we are working in Krishna. So everything a devotee may do whatever Krishna has given him a talent and intelligence. But he should do everything in a way that he can serve Krishna, he can glorify Krishna. So he is Chandan, our Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu is a first class example of this wonderful thing that Prabhu has desired. Along with another senior devotee, my batchmate, another devotee, his name is Shyam Murari Prabhu. So he also completed his PhD. He did his BTech from IIT Kharagpur. We were together, and then After that, he did his PhD from IIT Kanpur, and he has also opened an Institute of Brain. Prabhu will tell more about it. So now Prabhu will give a small presentation, and my only request is that at the end of the presentation there will be an appeal that you help him in the research work, which will appeal the scientific community to take up Krishna consciousness, understand the glories of Krishna consciousness. You help him by giving 1 hour today or tomorrow, within next 2 days. 1 hour you give him, where which will help him to do his research work. So what exactly it is, more details we'll hear from Setan Chandra Prabhu. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much. Prabhuji, this is a research work which is going on by the inspiration of devotees. We started around 2018. Basically Mukulna Pro and my counselor went for PhD. At the same time, I went for my master's in neuroimaging and neuroscience. So I have my training in that. So currently, I'm doing my research in meditation, the effect of meditation on how it affects the brain and the cognitive functions. So the inspiration for it comes from Srila Prabhupada only. Prabhupada wanted that whatever skills we are having, say for example, those who have scientific kind of temperament, they can use it in glorifying Lord. So that was, as Prabhuji was mentioning, that was the inspiration for doing it. So basically in meditation, a lot of research has been done, but not much research has been done in the field of mantra meditation. So my area of study is technically called as cognitive science. It's an interdisciplinary field which takes into account psychology, machine learning, AI, and other fields, signal processing. And what we do is we take the brain recordings, we make people do some task, and basically my area is focusing upon how does meditation affects your consciousness, attention, and decision making. So in the last 50 years, lot of research has been done, but most of the research is in the meditation techniques which is Buddhist meditation, like focusing on the breath, like you've heard, like people focus on the breath, right? So this is like, it also helps because nonetheless it's a part of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, but whatever we see around, whatever we quote around is not our mantra meditation, it's mostly Buddhist meditation. So the point was 50 years before, Dalai Lama was quite visionary, and he went to different institutes in foreign like Harvard, MIT, and he told our monks are free for all of us. I mean, we are available for all of you to make some research, to do some research. That's how he collaborated, and then the academia entered into Buddhist meditation practice and did lot of research based on that. So then after many devotees inspired us that why not our literature should go at least to that level where Buddhist literature are, so that when we quote in our device preaching or when you go for scientific preaching, we can show that our Hare Krishna Mahamantra also has effects. So what do I use? I use things like EEG. EEG is something which is around 50 lakhs machine which goes in your brain, on the top of the brain. It has electrodes, and it captures the electrical activity of the neurons. So our brain, whenever we are doing any functioning, so like we take some decisions, it fires some electrical activity, and by seeing the pattern in the electrical activity, by applying signal processing, etc., we try to see what signatures are there, which are like objective signatures. So we get some waveform out of it. So I'll go a little fast. So we do some signal processing also, and then we get waves like this. So these are like different kinds of waves we get. Like say for example, we were like just telling devotees, like when we are chanting, sometimes we are feeling sleepy, right? But we don't come to know. But if we put this machine over your brain and then you are chanting, we can see this delta. Delta is a slow wave. So even if you are not knowing it or somebody else is knowing it, you can see it objectively. Similarly, somebody is meditating very nicely, here you can see alpha. Alpha is an objective signature of that. So it's not a matter of saying that meditation makes us relaxed, you can see in the brain. That's how it becomes an objectable, verifiable signature, which science and can appreciate it. That's what they play around, right? So that's how it becomes an objective signature of it. So this is a study which I took in NVCC Pune, where I made like 50 brahmacharis chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and take the readings from the brain. and we show how meditation affects and it improves your attention, decision making, etc. So I'll just, and similarly, I also use another instrument called MRI. You have heard about it. So I put devotees under MRI and then I make them do tasks and we record brain activities. So I'll just show a small clip now. So I'll just ask you to just pay attention to this small video, and there is a task for you, just to give you a flavor of what we do, right? So are you ready? Just focus on this and hear the instruction. It's just sound out can increase. And pause. And reconnect it. Speaker on. Speaker on. Okay.
This is a test of selective attention. Count how many times the players wearing white pass the basketball.
You have to count.
How many passes did you?
How many passes were there, Guruji? 15, around 15? Okay. So that's an answer close, but any one of you see the gorilla?
Gorilla.
How many, please raise your hand, who see the gorilla? Somebody did not see also, right?
Count. The correct answer is 15 passes. But did you see the gorilla?
For those who are not seeing. So it was right there in the middle, right? Why did I show this example? Because this is called an attention blink. Just like eye blink is there, that's why attention blink. So it has been shown that those who are meditators, they have less of this attention blink. Means other people are able to blink, their attention gets blinked, but in case of meditation, at the practice more, the attention blink is quite less. So this is just one example task, and while you do this task, we put you under a scanner, we put the MRI machines, neuroimaging machine, we see what's going inside your brain. So this is just a demo task I was like showing to you how in our case we do a lot of research around this. Now just a small little bit project what
science has contributed to our understanding of the effects of meditation on the brain and body.
The research that we've done on meditation in the brain has focused on two major domains that meditation actually affects. One is attention and the other is emotion. And what we have discovered is that the circuits in the brain that are important for regulating both attention and emotion can be transformed by meditation. The 30,000-foot goal is to use the scientific research to understand the nature of suffering and how it can best be alleviated. And Mingyur Rinpoche was one of our first long-term practitioners.
This will be strapped onto the arm, and we'll get your ratings of how...
normal, without meditation?
Yes, without meditation.
Usually when you do this kind of research with either brain electrical measurements or MRI, it takes a lot of what we call post-processing to look at the data. And what post-processing means is simply lots of computer algorithms churning at the data after the data is collected, and it often takes many days of computer processing to extract these really weak signals in a lot of noise. It's finding the needle in the haystack. With Mingyur Rinpoche, we didn't need any fancy post-processing. We actually were able to see a signal with our naked eye. Of course, the first thing we thought is that there's artifact and there's something wrong, because this just is not something that we typically would see. And so then we had a...
Time is not there, so I'm not showing the whole video, but this all thing which you are seeing right now was done on Buddhist meditator. Our point was that take our meditation also to that extent. So after we have done this sort of research, we publish articles so that it can be accepted in the scientific community and you can use it for future research also. Another set of devotees which we had done before. So recently we published this article on mantra meditation. This was quite recent on the NVCC devotees. So just like we have manuscript in our scriptures to convince those who are based on faith on Shastras, so in scientific community these research articles are standard for that. So we publish in the journal and we have published other articles also. I'll just complete with this last thing. Just like we say that out of meditation we have become more grateful. Like to us saying like sense gratification, we don't have much taste. I mean much happiness which you get in service you get. But you may say those things, or here we may say that we become more grateful, but sometimes for those who are atheists, don't have belief in Shastra, sadhus, Guru Sadhu and Shastra, it's very difficult. They say that you are meditators, you will say like that. What is the verifiable signature? The signature comes from, at least from using these instruments, we can say that those who are grateful in their brain, there are neurons cluster which are only activated if somebody is grateful. Those who are not grateful cannot fake it. Just like if somebody has high blood pressure, he cannot fake it, you can measure it. Blood sugar level, etc. Similarly, we divide the people into two groups, meditators and non-meditators. We take their brain readings and show that how whatever good qualities they are developing, whatever attention and other good things which we are talking about, it has a signature, objective, verifiable signature in the brain which we can show to the outside people, and hence meditation is useful. So that's how you can see these areas. These are related to hand movements. You make a specific hand movement. Similarly, areas are related to when people are grateful, only in those brains we will see the neuron activity. Otherwise we will not see. So these are some of the papers which we published earlier. I went to some of the conference also and presented our papers. People were appreciating what work we are doing. Similarly, there are another papers with Leela Purushottam Prabhu and his team of devotees also. So recently we published this paper also on Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and these are all quantitative papers based on EEG and MRI. So what I need request from all of you is all of your blessing, support, and of course your time little bit. We take around 50 to 60 minutes, and in that we do task which is related to attention and decision making. This is the first phase, and those who are like good in that, we call them for neuroimaging studies. We take their tickets and everything done, and we call them to take the instrument readings there in IIT Bombay, or we come bring the instruments. Like my counselor brought some instruments in ISKCON Calcutta. Similarly, and I took also to NVCC Pune, so I can bring my instruments also here. They are little costly, around 50 lakhs and something, so I have to take some permission. But first phase is like, I just request some time from all of you, where you come, you don't have to do anything, in the sense like we don't have to show that something has come. Hare Krishna Mahamantra has already did its work. Let the instrument do its thing, and we can show to the world how the practice can really help us, transform us, which you are actually experiencing, but it's a service for others. And at the same time, our faith also from being contaminated by science also gets increased to a certain extent. The only qualification is like you should be chanting more than 2 years around, 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. If somebody is falling less also, you can just talk to me, I can accordingly do. Next, whenever you do this kind of task, then don't discuss with your colleagues, at least for 1 month, because we are in process of investigation, so others will get biased. Last, when you come for study, please do not feel sleepy. Take some proper rest and come. That's the only thing. If you are fresh and you have taken rest, the readings will come good. Thank you very much, and I just need all of your prayers, blessings, and Prabhuji's kind prayers so that we can continue to serve. Hare Krishna.
We can clap for. Thank you. So, very grateful to Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu for his wonderful work which is going on and already published papers and many more going to come, and this is just the beginning. And this is just the beginning of a lifelong project. As today we were discussing, you can give your life for some mission. So he has a mission for which he has given his life for. Reward. So thank you very much. So what are the time slots? Aditya Jaiswal Prabhu is there. He is coordinating with Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu. So he will launch the time slots and he will ask you to give your time. So please accordingly do the needful. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Akshaya Tritiya Mahamahotsav ki jai. Mahaprasadam ki jai. Hare Krishna.